What's up, Fearless Nation? Have you guys seen the reunion on Married at First Sight season 12? Checked it out tonight. It was pretty interesting. Seemed like it was dragging. I knew they were going to wait to show Chris and Paige till the end, to keep you tuned in. You're not going to turn away till you see that reunion. So I'm going to skip all the other couples. Oh, but by the way, Ryan, they asked Kevin Frazier, the host of the reunion show, asked Ryan, was he finally in love with Clara? And he paused and said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I love her." Like, she was happy with that. But he still didn't really say it. Pretty sure, do you or don't you? But I just thought that was interesting. He doesn't throw the word love around lightly, though. I got to give him that. But you know, Chris and Paige were on the show, and they're gonna have a part two next week. So I definitely want to check that out. They bring out Chris and Paige, and Chris starts out sounding apologetic, and I'm like, man, this dude knows all the right things to say. Even Kevin Frazier told him something like, "You're pretty media prepared." Like you think this stuff out ahead of time, and Chris kind of laughed or smiled like he's on to me. It just seems like Chris knows how to get the audience back on his side, or at least that's what he's trying to accomplish. But I think that he ruins it like he did this season. The minute he makes himself look good again, he'll say or do something that completely wipes it out. Kevin Frazier was asking him about Mercedes, his ex, and talking about the Mercedes that he bought her. He didn't want to talk about that. They showed him the clip of where Paige said she doubted that Mercedes was even expecting. But I thought it was pretty low class of the show for them to show, they showed Paige the part where Dr. Cal was talking to Chris, and Chris was talking about he wasn't attracted to her face. He's talking about all the Mexican queens and black queens, and he's like, you guys find the one woman, like with the face that he didn't like. I thought that was pretty cruel for them to show her that. She could see it eventually on her own, but why put her on the spot like that? And she's like, nobody wants to hear that. What they expect her to say, like, oh, cool, man, I like the fact that he just basically said I was homely. I mean, that was low class, Married at First Sight. Why put her on the spot like that? But anyway, Chris makes himself sound real apologetic, and apologizes and says he was immature and doesn't deserve a woman like Paige. That sounds like game to me. But then they bring out his ex-pastor. They're supposed to be, homies or friends. But the minute he starts talking, Chris gets real aggressive. And Kevin Frazier, the host, was like, man, just relax, chill out. And Chris was like, okay, I'm going to do it for you, Kevin. Then the minute the pastor started talking, he get wound up again. And the pastor said, like, don't start cussing at me. That's, I'm the same way. Like, I'll be cool with you. The minute you start cussing, it's I just don't go for it. Let's put it like that. And the pastor was telling him that. And Chris kept getting up, like trying to get in his face. And he's like, we can get it cracking. We can meet in the parking lot. And he's still cussing. I'm like, dude, you just undid all the image. You just undid the image you just tried to present. You just tried to make yourself seem like a gentleman and apologetic. You got the suit on. And you just come out cussing at the pastor. And you're trying to fight him. Now, from what I saw of the pastor before when he met with Paige, this dude looks like he works out. He looks like he could slap Chris all around that parking lot. And I just keep tripping out. Chris talks about fighting in these tight pants. It's like, what you gonna do other than rip your pants, man? But the pastor was, holding back, but he looks like he could mop Chris with no problem. But Chris is all of a sudden a big tough guy. Meet me in the parking lot, like he's a straight up G now or something. The pastor's just looking like, he said Chris doesn't like to be corrected, and that's what it is. Every time the pastor tried to talk, he didn't want him to talk. It's like he knew he was going to say something that he didn't want out there. And Chris was all mad that he met with Paige without him being there. And the pastor said, "Look, man, I love you, but he just doesn't like to be corrected." And I don't know if that friendship that they supposedly had could be repaired at this point, because like you said, you can't tell Chris anything. Chris said he's open to listening to Pastor Cal, but not his old pastor slash friend. I forget his name. Every time I start filming, it seems like I forget people's names. But it's just incredible how this dude just undoes all of the good he was trying to present. You're trying to say sorry. You're trying to make yourself look, classy, and then the pastor comes out and it's all down the drain. You went from classy to hood in about, less than 10 minutes? So, I'm curious to see what's going to happen next week. I know they're not going to let him fight, but, I'm sure if the producers let the pastor get to him, and if he wanted to, like I said, he looks like he could smack Chris around. Chris is going to get up in his face knowing someone's going to come in between them. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, man, Paige seems like she's moved on. She's not interested. And can you blame her? The dude is all over the place. You don't know what's the real Chris. Is he the apologetic gentleman, or is he the straight up G? Judging by those tight pants and the high waters, I wouldn't go with the G option. At least growing up in the in the 80s and 90s, that's not how we got down. I know we're in 2021, but yeah, the real G's come from that era mainly. Anyway, different topic. But Chris, man, you can't go at somebody like that, especially a pastor. You gonna talk that way to a pastor and try to degrade him on TV? It's like you were overly mad. It didn't even call for all that. You could have just sat there and discussed what Kevin Frazier was trying to get you to discuss. He didn't want that pastor to get out something he was going to say. And it's just kind of sad to watch this dude's life kind of go the direction it's going, And it's mainly all because of him, because Paige was into this dude. But he kind of pulled the rug from underneath her feet. Let me know what you guys thought of this reunion show. Brianna and Vincent, they were cool. Vincent grew the hair in, and they seemed really happy. Even Kevin Frazier at one point was like, "Ooh, you guys look happy." But like I said, Virginia and Eric, they're still getting along. But the main thing I just wanted to see, Chris and Paige, I wanted to see what antics he was up to this week. Anyway, this is the J. Roos Theory. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and be fearless. Yay, yay.